Peter Jackson is best known for directing both the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies. However, the subject matter of his lesser-known pre-Tolkien work contains little evidence of a future Oscar-winning fantasy epic filmmaker. What these 6 films do suggest is a man of great ambition, ingenuity, and boundless creativity. Peter Jackson grew up an only child in the small New Zealand town of Pukerua Bay. At the age of 9, Jackson saw King Kong on TV, which sparked his interest in filmmaking. He would later remake Kong in 2005. In his teenage years, Jackson emulated the stop-motion monsters of Kong animator Willis O'Brien, as well as his protege Ray Harryhausen, in homemade movies of his own. Other childhood endeavors included a war film, a James Bond parody, and a vampire short. At the age of 22, Jackson bought a 16mm camera and set out to make a short film titled Roast of the Day. Involving a door-to-door donation collector stumbling upon a horde of man-eating aliens disguised as humans, the short eventually grew into a full-length feature retitled Bad Taste. Jackson, along with a small cast and crew of friends and co-workers, filmed on free weekends over the span of 4 years. The plot of Jackson's film expanded to include a group of bumbling investigators set on stopping the invading aliens, who now were in greater numbers. At its climax, the film's aliens shed their disguises, revealing their gruesome true forms. All of the film's props and special effects, which included 3 large-scale models, a slew of fake guns, multiple foam latex masks and costumes, and countless bouts of gore, were painstakingly made by Jackson himself. Luckily, Jackson's efforts paid off. Bad Taste was accepted into the Cannes Film Festival in 1988, where it sold distribution rights in 30 countries. Through his growing notoriety in New Zealand's filmmaking community, Jackson had previously met his future wife and collaborator, Fran Walsh. Before Jackson attended Cannes, he and Walsh devised future projects with the help of friends: the zombie splatter comedy film Braindead, and a shockingly crude TV pilot Muppet parody, Meet the Feebles. After funding fell through for Braindead, Jackson was forced into making Meet the Feebles his next project, which had grown into a feature film due to the demands of Japanese investors. Released in 1989, Meet the Feebles portrays the exploits of Jackson's demented Muppet surrogates: Heidi, the emotionally fragile hippo, Bletch, the show's corrupt producer, Robert the lovelorn hedgehog, Dennis, the panty-sniffing aardvark, Wynyard, the drug-addicted Vietnam vet frog, and Harry, the promiscuous STD-riddled hare, among others. The film marks Jackson's first collaboration with Richard Taylor and Tanya Roger, who helped with many of the film's disgusting special effects. Taylor and Roger's company, later named Weta Workshop, would work on all of Jackson's theatrical films, including his intimidatingly ambitious Tolkien adaptations. Jackson's growing list of accomplices returned to his aid for Braindead, released in 1992. After a young man's domineering mother is bit by an infectious rat monkey, he and his love interest are faced with an increasingly chaotic zombie outbreak. Filled to the brim with an absurd amount of gore-filled gags, climaxing with an infamous lawnmower scene, Braindead remains a splatter masterpiece and one of the goriest films ever made, thanks to the prodigious effects work of Richard Taylor. Tiring of blood splatter and gore, Jackson's next project, 1994's Heavenly Creatures, took a decidedly dramatic turn. Jackson and Walsh's script was based on the teenage lives of New Zealanders Pauline Parker and Juliet Hulme, who had murdered Pauline's mother in 1954. Through the imaginative fantasies of the two girls, Jackson was able to indulge his own creativity. As a result, Weta was tasked with another ambitious undertaking, and in turn, another inspiring achievement. Through its fantastical imagery and dramatic tone, Heavenly Creatures contains the closest ties to Jackson's future work, most notably the magical realism of the murder mystery The Lovely Bones from 2009. Jackson's next project, 1995's television documentary Forgotten Silver, told the story of a forgotten New Zealand filmmaker from the silent era. Despite its seeming authenticity, which is said to have fooled numerous viewers, the film's subject was completely fictional, its believability a testament to Jackson's skills. While writing Heavenly Creatures, Jackson and Walsh were commissioned by Hollywood director Robert Zemeckis to write a script for a Tales from the Crypt spin-off film. However, Zemeckis later decided the script was better suited to Jackson's sensibilities. The resulting film, 1996's The Frighteners, told the story of a con-man psychic investigator with the ability to communicate with ghosts, who comes across a benevolent spirit on a killing spree. The Frighteners was a massive undertaking for Weta's digital department, but ultimately proved the company was capable of Hollywood-scale special effects which would be necessary in adapting the works of J.R.R. Tolkien, Jackson's following endeavor. Although Peter Jackson's filmmaking roots seem to lie in stark contrast to his more acclaimed work, the progression portrays a director of ever-growing ambition and uninhibited vision. An underlying theme throughout The Lord of the Rings is of courage in the face of insurmountable odds, a courage Jackson would need, and evidently had, all along. Happy New Year's, everyone! I'd like to take a second to thank everyone who's subscribed to me so far. And if you head over to the discussion panel, I'm hoping to start conversations about what I'm watching and what you guys are watching. And don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos.